It's Madden NFL 22, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Bengals and the Bears, and it comes your way next.
One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport, Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD, you look at our quarterback matchup in this ball game, that's where the focus naturally gravitates, and I think we have a fairly interesting one here. Joe Burrow of the Bengals, Justin Fields of the Bears.
And Brandon, I think each one might be trying to play some form of keep away from the other, because when you think about time of possession and what that means in a game, it's great if you're able to hold on to the football and run your offense at your pace. And it also helps to keep the other guy's offense on the sideline. That's your goal for the game.
Here's Cairo Santos now ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. Brandon Wilson to return it. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Burrow looking to pass. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
They did tell us they wanted to establish a ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the gun, a give to Mixon. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Five yards remain on 2nd down. Now it's Burrow. Open man is Higgins. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Here's Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. A giant hole up the middle. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
You call it?
21 yards for Joe Mixon. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. That time a 9-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading him out, the rookie from Ohio State at 22 years of age, it's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 27, Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
The tackle there by Jermaine Pratt. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Fields now to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Burrow. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. A little costly there. You wipe out the first down. You also move further back.
No doubt about it. So you went from moving the sticks to them staying in the same spot, except for that one guy carrying the yard marker. He moves back farther.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The tight end, C.J. Uzomah, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here we go. Hey, can.
From midfield now, Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's patience to be admired right there, because he looks left, looks right, and waits for the right guy to come open, spots him in the middle of the field, and delivers.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
11, 12, 12, 12.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. C.J. Uzama there to make the grab. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. The game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get 1 play before the 2-minute warning. On 1st down, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Meanwhile, Fields' throw pulled in by Robinson here.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Now Fields. Swings this out here for Cohen. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
Now a first down throw, Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Fields. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. And this one is incomplete.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Here we go.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Here we go. 180. Playing hot. Turbo's hot.
First down. Here's Burrow. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. McPherson's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for Cincinnati. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Bears, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. This is Jakeem Grant. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Fields throw there, complete to Mooney. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
I think we should put a stopwatch on that one. You talk about having all day to throw the football. able to scan the field, find someone open after a long time. Big-time credit to the offensive line for protection. That's what we used to call throwing out of the rocking chair.
Even. 4 down. Even.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's got room. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all Lebanon defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They run. Montgomery. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a give running right is Montgomery. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. And this will be caught by Mooney. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
On 2nd and inches, Fields. Buying time, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Fields, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Bears draw a bit closer. They've already been on record as saying, hey, if our rookie quarterback's going to tuck it and run on a scramble, we kind of hold our breath. Well, that was a maybe no, yes, as he's able to get into the end zone.
Are you saying he's got to learn where the line is about whether you keep your eyes downfield and try and find a receiver, or you tuck it and go? And I think there's going to be some growing pains with that. I think in this case, he made the right decision.
And we know he's got the speed. He showed it there. Santos with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now a penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Yeah, this is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Here's Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
Got that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion, but this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Here's Fields. Eluding the pressure right. And the stiff arm proved fruitful for a second, but the daylight quickly snuffed out. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
All day, just like that, just like that.
2nd down and goal. Fields. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
3rd and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the Bears have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan, and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
Yeah, my bad.
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. From his end zone, Wilson. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
Gun. Cut. 180.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. From the 22, Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Let's go.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A handoff to Mixon. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Robert Quinn is the one who burst in there to blow that play up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now it's Burrow. He finds his man, complete. That's Boyd. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The defense did their job. Fourth quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it, because the offense has been yelling at them from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. On first down, it's Fields. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
Flush to his right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the 16, Fields. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
That was a touchdown. If he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Fields. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious, so you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gap.
Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play there for Cincinnati. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's a give to Mixon. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a second down, but they are in field goal range. Back to Mixon on second down. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now they run with Mixon. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. McPherson's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. So now Fields and the Bears down 20-17, less than 90 seconds to go. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He's back to throw. Able to find Kmet. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. This is Robinson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Bengals drive about to get going. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Wilson now on the return. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. Being chased out left. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the first down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
11,
Now Mixon. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Burrow looking to pass. Now he'll escape to his left. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other. So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that is incomplete. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance. Got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct, because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Now a first throw here in overtime. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.